When you walk into Harvey Norman or JB Hi-Fi, you're hit with an overwhelming wall of appliances. LG, Samsung, Electrolux, Bosch, Fisher and Paykel. Dozens of brand names, price tags from $600 to $8,000. You scroll through reviews, compare ratings, agonize over the decision. You think you're making a smart choice, but here's the truth. You're participating in a rigged game. This entire experience is a psychological trick designed by corporate executives to drain your wallet. You think you have options. You don't. What you're looking at is an illusion. Today, we're exposing the Australian appliance monopoly. I'm going to show you how massive global conglomerates bought up the trusted heritage. Brands your parents relied on, hollowed them out, and replaced real engineering with identical cheap plastic garbage. But more importantly, I'm giving you the exact loophole to save thousands of dollars and opt out of planned obsolescence forever. Today we are exposing the appliance monopoly. I am going to show you exactly how a few massive holding companies secretly own almost every brand on the shelf, how they trick you into paying luxury prices for disposable rubbish, and why adding more technology actually makes your expensive appliance die faster than the cheap one. More importantly, I'm going to give you the exact two-step loophole to either save $3,000 on your next purchase or escape the system entirely and buy an appliance that lasts 25 years. Let's pull back the curtain and see what's really happening. To understand how this works, you need to know what happened over the last 40 years. 3 decades ago, appliance brands actually competed. Real competition. Hoover competed with Simpson. Westinghouse competed with Kelvinator. These were independent Australian companies with their own factories, their own engineers. Then came the consolidation. Over the last 30 years, massive global holding companies systematically bought up every competitor. Electrolux acquired AEG, Zanussi, and Kelvinator. Whirlpool expanded globally. Samsung and LG conquered entire market segments. LG and Samsung control roughly 40% of Australia's refrigerator market. Electrolux owns brands you thought were different. Haier, a Chinese company, now owns Fisher and Paykel, the brand Australians trusted for decades. Here's what you need to understand. When you're standing in that appliance aisle looking at 5 different companies competing, you're actually looking at products owned by maybe 2 or 3 megacorporations. These holding companies didn't buy these heritage brands because they wanted to build great machines. They bought them for the logos. They bought decades of trust, then changed the entire business model from build it to last to build it to fail. It was a strategic acquisition of nostalgia, and you've been paying the price ever since. Here's exactly how this scam works. It's called badge engineering. Let me walk you through a real scenario. You need a new washing machine. You find a basic Beko front loader, budget brand, no fancy features. Price, $649. Then you see a premium Electrolux front loader, sleek stainless steel, touch controls, Wi-Fi. Fancy digital display. Price, $2,399. That's a $1,750 difference. Your brain jumps to a conclusion. The Electrolux must be engineered differently. Better motors, better pumps, better materials, it'll last longer. It's obvious, right? But here's the secret they don't want you to know. If you opened both machines, you'd discover something shocking. They're almost identical inside, same assembly line, same factory. Same plastic inlet valves, same fragile drain pumps, same motors engineered to burn out in 5 to 7 years. You're not paying $1,750 for better engineering. You're paying for a stainless steel wrapper, a brand badge, and a Wi-Fi chip you don't need. Lipstick on a pig. Here's how they do it. They build one cheap, fragile platform. Then they wrap it in 5 different exteriors, slap 5 different logos on it, and charge luxury prices. The cheap model gets ugly plastic. The premium model gets stainless steel, inside. Identical. The profit margins are astronomical. That's why they do it. They're not interested in innovation. They're interested in maximizing profit from the same base product. To justify these massive markups, they use their ultimate weapon, smart technology. They know the mechanical guts are cheap, so they bolt a digital touchscreen onto the premium version, add sensors, add Wi-Fi, add complex logic boards that monitor humidity, water weight, everything. They call it innovation. They tell you it's worth the extra $1,750. But here's the reality. Complexity kills durability. By adding fragile computer motherboards to premium brands, they're actually making expensive machines die faster than cheap ones. Where does that motherboard sit? In a washing machine, it's above the spinning drum vibration. In a dryer, it's in the path of heat and moisture. In a dishwasher, it's next to steam and condensation. One drop of condensation shorts that circuit board, and in Australia's humid climate, that happens regularly. Your $2,400 appliance is bricked. Parts cost $800. Labor is $400. It's cheaper to throw it away. That's their plan. Meanwhile, the cheap budget machine with a simple mechanical dial keeps running for years because there's no delicate computer to break, no logic board to short out. It just works. The cruel paradox: the more you pay, the faster it fails. Premium brands are engineered for planned obsolescence. Budget brands last longer because they're cheap enough that companies don't care if they survive. This is the game they've rigged. How do you beat this? The answer is the two-step loophole. Most people will use step one. Smart people will use both. First, accept the truth. You're buying a machine with a 5 to 7 year lifespan regardless of the brand. Don't fight it. Use it to your advantage. Do not fall for the badge. Walk past the premium series. Ignore the luxury logos and smart screens. Go straight to the cheapest base model. Find the machine with ugly plastic knobs and zero digital screens by the bottom tier option. Here's why: you get the same mechanical platform as the luxury model but save $1,500 to $3,000 because it lacks delicate smartboards. The cheap model will ironically outlast the expensive one. Same lifespan, fraction of the price. You starve the monopoly of luxury profit margins. Let me give you a concrete example. Instead of buying the $2,399 Electrolux, buy the $649 Beko. Same guts, same warranty. You save $1,750. In 7 years, when it needs replacing, you've saved enough for 3 replacements at budget price. The math is undeniable. This is immediate money in your pocket. But if you want an appliance that lasts 25 years, not 5 but actually 25 years, then you need to stop buying consumer products entirely. Take your money completely out of the corporate monopoly system. Buy from independent or commercial-focused companies that refuse to sell out to the mega corporations. For laundry machines, look at commercial laundromat equipment. Speed Queen front loaders cost $1,200 to $1,600, but they use real steel gears, heavy cast iron bases, and mechanical timers instead of computer boards. These machines are built to run 24 hours daily in commercial environments. If they can handle that punishment, they'll easily last you 25 years. With basic maintenance, that's a machine you could pass down to your kids. For kitchen appliances, look at restaurant and cafe equipment. Commercial refrigerators use real copper tubing, thick steel construction, and accessible repairable parts. A used commercial 6-burner stove costs less than a fancy consumer range and will outlast it by decades. Commercial dishwashers by Hobart are absolute tanks, engineered for heavy daily use, which means engineered to actually last. Why does this loophole work? Because commercial buyers track their investment carefully. A cafe owner won't tolerate a fridge that breaks in 3 years because it costs them money in spoiled stock and lost sales. So commercial manufacturers are forced to use quality materials and build things that actually last. They can't cut corners because their customers demand reliability and track their return on investment. The monopolies rely on your nostalgia, your assumption that a familiar brand means quality. They want you to trust the logo your parents trusted while selling you an unrepairable trap. But once you understand that commercial equipment is available to regular consumers, the game changes completely. The appliance monopoly is built on one fundamental lie: that more features, higher prices, and technology equal better quality. It's a lie. Complexity kills durability. Badges are just marketing. Planned obsolescence is a feature, not a bug. You have 2 choices moving forward. In the short term, use the budget hack. Stop overpaying for stainless steel and Wi-Fi. Buy the cheapest option available and pocket $2,000. It lasts just as long as the expensive one. In the long term, escape the system entirely. Buy commercial-grade equipment. Buy from independent manufacturers. Buy mechanical simplicity. Keep your hard-earned money out of landfills and out of corporate pockets. Once you see the illusion, you can't unsee it. The appliance aisle will never look the same, but the monopoly doesn't stop at white goods. The exact same corporate strategy has infected the vehicles in your driveway. Modern cars are legally mandated to track your location. They have kill switches the government can activate remotely. You have almost no control over your own vehicle anymore. If you want to see exactly why automotive companies are doing this and what it means for your freedom, click the video on your screen right now. I'll see you there.